Yeah. May I take you to our incredible winners? This is Evangeline. She is the senior winner from Malaysia.
How are you?
Hi, thank you.
Well, I know. Many, many congratulations. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Have you done a lot of writing since?
Yeah, through the workshops. Yeah, really fun.
Goodness, you've got to keep writing. You've got such talent. You must be, it's just your father. You must be very proud. Yeah. No, it's absolutely extraordinary. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it again. Very nice to meet you.
This is Erin. She is the junior winner from Malaysia, and that's her mother.
From
So two winners from
well
Malaysia.
done. So how long have you been writing?
Since I was 4.
Oh, you just kept on going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it just shows how good you are. It's absolutely fantastic. You must have very good schools out there. It is. Help teach you. Well, it's brilliant. Well, to see them later.
This is Christabel. She's in Singapore. She's a senior runner-up.
Hello.
And that is her mother.
Nice to see you. Now, I whizzed through Singapore the other day on my way to Australia. On the way back, it makes a very nice place to stop. But that always seems to be a winner from Singapore. Yeah, I know. I remember visiting a school down there. Brilliant education. Yeah. So you really love writing?
Oh, I've been writing since I was tiny.
That's your time. Really, as I said, it's so lovely to see all this talent. These very clever girls. It's lovely to see you. Now we have a boy.
We do. This is Victor. He is from Uganda.
You're from Uganda. So smart.
And Your Majesty.
This is lovely.
Yeah. The incredible story is Victor's only the second winner from Uganda. I remember he won a competition a couple of years ago.
That's
They're
right.
the same school.
Are you at the same school? I don't believe it. That's a small world, isn't
We flew his teacher, and so you meet him outside
Yeah.
as well, the teacher that taught both of them. So this is just incredible, how inspiring.
it? Absolutely brilliant. And you love your writing, do you?
Thank you.
Well, I thought it was so clever that it was great. I can't believe you're at the same school. Because Ethan, I think I did on a Zoom. It was a lockdown, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he came, he was extremely excited,
Yeah.
and then he did a BBC program.
He did, yes.
So he has had
And he
tremendous
inspired you to do it.
Yes.
And this is a very proud mother. You must be so proud. Do any of you write, any of the parents? Have you
I do, but not as good as her. It's just impossible. So
Well, that's what you want as a parent.
yes.
Well, so many congratulations to you all, and I look forward to listening to all your stories. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Hello, Tam. Lovely to meet you. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
No, so incredible. Have you read it?
Yeah, the story I'm reading, maybe take it up. It's just so beautiful.
Can't imagine. You know, from people so young, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Maybe I will change up the books.
Nice to have all this talent, isn't it?
Richard Ayoade.
Hello,
who's
how are
going to
you?
be-
Nice to see you. Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
It's a joy,
No,
true joy.
but it's lovely to, you know, just to see these
Yes,
young people
incredible.
with all this talent. I don't know how the judges ever find a
Yeah,
winner.
it's tremendous.
It
It's the
is.
writing, so it's a pleasure to read.
Really, really nice to see you. Hello, Toby.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah, we are. Well, you know, we're so sorry about your coming. We really loved it. We had such fun with that.
No, well,
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's just sad for the whole country.
Yeah.
She was a legend. Anyway, thanks so much for coming
Oh, it's
today.
a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Really nice. Hello,
Bye.
Clark.
Hello.
Nice to see you
Good
again.
to see you again. How are you?
Well, you've managed to extract yourself from
Yes,
some...
I made it clear that I had an appointment with Her Majesty.
Okay, so they let you off.
They let me off, which is rather good.
Well-
but the quality of the work is
I know. Well,
astonishing.
it's so impressive,
Absolutely
isn't it?
astonishing. So
Yeah, it's not till I
brilliant.
did it the first time that I realised just how good they were.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
there's
really impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the sophistication, and the engagement, it's not just the writing, it's what
I-
they
I-
convey.
I know.
You know. It matches in the literature that we would read.
I know. It's quite extraordinary, I know.
It's a
the
bit
sort of
humbling.
shame.
It's a bit humbling.
Yeah.
So thank you. It's
Well,
good to
thanks
see you
so
again.
much for coming. It's really kind.
So, Your Majesty,
Your Majesty, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Giles Brandreth, and I'm a proud ambassador for the Royal Commonwealth Society. And for the last few years, I've been lucky enough to host this special event. And I'm always thrilled and honoured, we all are, and excited to be allowed into your home, Your Majesty. So thank you so much for the invitation. As well as being an ambassador, you may not know this, Your Majesty, but I am also, we're going to hear some wonderful literary work in a moment, but I'm also something of a poet myself. I was chatting to the young people earlier. They told me they greatly admired Shakespeare. I have a short poem about Romeo and Juliet to share with everybody. 'Twas in a restaurant they met Romeo and Juliet. He had no money to pay the debt, so Romeo'd what Juliet. Thank you. We are going to perform for you a very short poem, especially in your honour, Your Majesty. I like short poems. I have a favourite limerick. It goes like this. There was a young man from Peru whose limerick stopped at line 2. But the poem I'm going to perform for you now, or rather the young people are going to perform, is the shortest poem ever written. I had a pet goldfish called Spot, who unfortunately was eaten by Oscar the cat, who was wild. And I wrote a poem, an ode to a late lamented goldfish. It is the shortest poem in the history of the world. It's going to be performed at Buckingham Palace in front of Your Majesty by these 4 remarkable prize winners who've flown all over the Commonwealth to come to be here with us today. They are now going to recite it rhymes, but it is very short, the shortest poem in the history of the world. It's called Ode to a Late Lamented Goldfish. Take it away. You are going to hear some more about and of these remarkable young people in just a moment. But first of all, can I ask to come up to the stage Her Majesty the Queen to speak to us. Your Majesty.
Thank you, Giles. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a huge pleasure to welcome you to Buckingham Palace today, to congratulate and thank all of you who've participated in this year's Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition. Yet again, we've had a record-breaking year with 35,000 entries from 54 Commonwealth countries, including 11 from Samoa and over 200 from Australia, 2 places that my husband and I were lucky enough to visit last month. While I was in Sydney, I couldn't help but think of a young woman named Camilla, who exactly 100 years ago left that beautiful city to travel to London. She did so when she was only a little older than Evangeline Khoo. And like each one of you here, she loved to write. For a decade, she wrote poems, stories, and reviews of plays, until from her pen sprang one of the best-loved characters in literature, and certainly everybody's favourite nanny, none other than Mary Poppins, who was and is practically perfect in every way. I have a copy of a book from 1934, the year it was published, that belonged to my husband's grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, which in a moment you can all have a look at. Pamela Travers, or P.L. Travers, as it says on the cover of the book, once said something very astute about writing that I remembered when I read your brilliant entries. She said, A writer is, after all, only half a book. The other half is the reader. I think by that she meant that a really good piece of writing stirs up the reader and by some strange magic makes the reader part of the story. This is definitely true of our wonderful finalists. Thank you for your talents. Your readers are taken on amazing journeys with you across the Commonwealth, from Gambia to Grenada, from Bangladesh to Botswana, from Malta to Malaysia. You make us part of your story. You invite us to share your concerns and your passions, and you eloquently express the power of our Commonwealth. I'm full of admiration for you. You make me feel very proud to be a member of the Commonwealth, and you fill me with hope for its future. Now, if Mary Poppins was here, I wonder if she'd be telling me to hurry up with the brisket spot so that we can get on with the prize giving. I will therefore end by saying there's just one word to describe you all, but I might need some help from Charles to get it right. You are utterly supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Thank you very much indeed.
Interestingly enough, Your Majesty, I think supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is the longest word created in the 20th century. So there we are, just throwing that in. And this lovely book, the Mary Poppins book, will be on display during the reception later. Lizzie Ashby, the curator of books and manuscripts from the Royal Library at Windsor, has brought some real treasures, some, as well as this book, original manuscripts by people like Thomas Hardy, some of the books from the Queen Mary's Doll's House, and the new editions that Her Majesty commissioned earlier this year. They're all on display over there, and during the reception, do make sure you don't take your drinks and nibbles near them, but you go and have a look at them, because they really are some wonderful treasures to enjoy. We're now going to enjoy the contributions of our 4 finalists, and we begin with the junior runner-up. Would you please come to the dais? Victor Austin Kiyaga from Uganda. And to read an extract from Richard's wonderful contribution, a poem, it's going to be one of Victor's wonderful contribution. It's going to be one of my favorite actors. He's also an author. He's a most remarkable human being. Would you please salute Richard Ayoade? Richard.
And I wanted to say thank you to you, Victor, for this poem, which is marvellous. And when I grow up, I hope to be as good a writer as you. But I doubt it, because this is tremendous. It's called Whispers from Nazawa, and it's by Victor Kiyaga, age 13, from Uganda. It's an extract from that. With a voluntary heart, one drawn to the environment, my feet carried me to Nazawa. Nazawa, once the beauty of nature. Nazawa, once with water as clear as glass. Nazawa, once an attraction to all people of class. Nazawa, once a habitat, a cosy home. Nazawa, once for all to happily roam. Yet Nazawa now the remnant of nature, with beauty distinctly extinct. As I cleaned up, I was helped by Nazawa's cleansing tide. But with it came a glide of voices that pricked my pride, no longer mute. The creatures of the sea confided secrets of the deep in me, seeking liberation for the free. Humans to let their pollution flee, set these sea creatures free. In the chorus joined in a pod of dolphins, sleek and swift, with voices that resonated a plaintive drift. We echolocate our sonar's guide, but industry's noise we cannot abide. Amidst propellers' roar, we lose our way, communication lost in disarray, the tumult of clicks and whistles, drowned by human intrusions, our voices dismissed. My heart swelled as a heavy weight descended, the consequences of a world we offended. To these voiceless beings, their plight and plea, I vowed to listen, their advocates to be. O gentle creatures, your pain I hear. Your sorrow shall awaken hope and cheer. From this moment forward, I make a stand, a steward of the seas to protect the land, restore our Commonwealth.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Well done. Congratulations. Well done, Victor. Marvellous moment. If you return to your place now, holding up. And to read an extract from her contribution, we have, well, one of the most exciting, brilliant and beautiful talents available in the Commonwealth today. Yes, it's Tanya Reynolds.
This is an extract from The Indian Ocean Queen's Troubles by Erin Lee. Determined, I said eloquently, "It's my responsibility to pass this message to the human world. Your Majesty, may I propose an idea?" "Of course," she expressed. "How about sending a silent message through the brainwaves of anyone abusing the ocean? For instance, embed insight of the ocean's creatures' death rates when someone litters into the sea. When fishermen overfish, alert them about the reduction of fish population. When seismic blasting is intensely extreme, whisper to them that whales will be deaf. The magical ocean creatures are certainly capable of such acts, aren't they?" Queen Rui and Joe's eyes widened in astonishment. "Erin, that's brilliant," Queen Rui said while swimming in excitement. A starfish on the Queen's throne caught my attention. "Your Majesty, I own a fascinating gadget called Patrick. It picks up rubbish from the ocean. My distant sea-loving uncle, Elanus, gifted it to me, but I've only got one. I'd recommend the ocean make replicas of it." The Queen nodded in agreement. "Bring it over and we'll make hundreds of replicas." A month later, my friends and I were wearing goggles and fishing plastic out of the ocean with our Patricks. The new Patricks are distributed to people who were hand or fin-picked by ocean secretaries, designed by squid mechanics and blacksmiths. Besides being environmentally friendly, these orange robotic starfish can go 20 meters deep. Queen Rui has also assigned the telepathic jellyfish to send wave messages to promote awareness amongst the ocean abusers. Joe, my mono fish friend, has been promoted as the Queen's royal associate. As for my promise to spread the Queen Rui's message to the human world, I'm glad that that mission has finally been accomplished. Well done.
That's it. Congratulations, Erin. Well done, you. Brilliant. And thank you, Tanya. We are so blessed to have such talent performing these extracts. Extraordinarily, just ponder this for a moment, these young people, I think, were 11 or 12 years of age. They're now 13 when they wrote what they have written. I mean, there really is hope for the world, isn't there? It's worth remembering, too, this competition has been running now, I think, for even a century or more, and that several previous winners have ended up, one of them, I think, as president in their own country, several as senior people in their own country. This is, you're getting the cream of the Commonwealth here. We are very, very lucky, and it just makes the spirit soar that there are such brilliant, talented people going to be looking after us in the future. Okay, we now have the senior runner-up who comes from Singapore. Welcome to the stage, Christabel Yeoh. And Christabel, you are in for a treat because reading your extract is one of the most exciting, dynamic, good-looking, and remarkable human beings. Yeah, it is. It's my friend and yours, Toby Stevens.
An extract from The Death and the Bumblebee by Christabel Yeo. The bumblebee felt indignant. So they're all right with killing bumblebees and flower patches just to be faster. That just seems selfish. Well, I suppose it might be too difficult for them, Death said. She laughed. What's so difficult about not riding a metal animal? Because humans never think that way. Death adjusted his nightcap. They like to make things all convoluted and grand and big. I mean, stop making the air hot seems much more difficult than stop riding your metal animal, doesn't it? How strange humanity was. The bumblebee had never met someone who would make things bigger and scarier than it already was. She'd heard stories of them, seen outlines of their figures in her periphery, afraid to draw too close. Large, lumbering creatures with bright eyes and brilliant brains, larger than perhaps the whole colony put together. For all the complexities in the world, could their minds not break this one down? They think differently from bumblebees. To think I'm feeding the future of the colony is much scarier than I'm collecting pollen. It's always at the back of my mind, of course, which makes it seem grand, but when it consumes my mind, it just seems scary. They do, Death said. If humans thought more like bumblebees, the world might be a better place. Someone should tell them that, said the bumblebee. I wish I could, but I'm just a bumblebee. Maybe you can, said Death. And the bumblebee was struck by the warmth in his voice. Small steps. Small steps, the bumblebee agreed.
Congratulations, Christabel. Brilliant stuff. And thank you so much, Toby, for that wonderful reading. We now come on to our senior winner, and she comes from Malaysia. Welcome to the stage, Evangeline Khoo. Now we have someone who has professionally visited many Commonwealth countries and also many war zones. He is a reporter, a journalist. He's also a newsreader. I think I saw him reading the news only yesterday. He's a fascinating human being. We're very thrilled that he has come today to read a moment from your contribution, Evangeline. Welcome to the stage, Clive Myrie.
Evangeline, thank you for this very powerful and profound work. An extract from Ungrowing Growth by senior winner Evangeline Khoo, aged 15. What happened? I was born for the sake of humanity and its core factor of invention. Necessity. That is my creator. That was my growth. It was what made me imperishable. I am hard, rigid, stretchable, soft, graceful, colorful. I am what they need, yet they greed over me. They greed and greed, pry their claws into all the different industries, taking over. I am easy, cheap, and accessible. I am taking over. I am choking, harming the sea creatures. I am deep in the rich soils of the forests left by hikers long ago. I am growing. I have grown to the point they cannot contain me anymore. The rubbish, the straws, the produce bags, and the cutlery made by my hands all have been staring back at me like a tower I have built. The fools think they can destroy me. Do you not recognize me anymore? It is still me, the creation they have made. Fools, fools, fools. They burn me at the stake as if I'm a witch, as if I was the one who chose to be cast away, as if my kingdom was not built by them. They burn me, and I melt. I will dim the clouds as rain pours, the sour and acidic water that harm their skin. They hiss and curse my name as they burn me. I will trap the only heat I know that they fear. I will embrace and bathe in the sun's ultraviolet rays. I will kiss the hands of Mother Nature as she cries in sorrow for her beautiful body and offspring that have been tainted by me. I will cloud the eyes of my wrongdoers to only see my fluorescent colors that now shine brighter than before as the skies only allow me. I will be the witch they fear.
Congratulations, Evangeline, quite brilliant. And thank you, Clive, for that wonderful, wonderful reading. Now, this competition has been going since 1883. It's gone from strength to strength. The ambition, I mean, thousands and tens of thousands taking part this year. The ambition, I think, is that by 2030, we hope to have 75,000 young people from across the Commonwealth taking part. And it's amazing. I mean, this year, I think 54 out of the 56 Commonwealth countries took part in this. This is a real international, global Commonwealth event, which is fantastic. It's run by the Royal Commonwealth Society. There's an extraordinary team there. Libby, well done you. But to speak to us now is the head of the Royal Commonwealth Society, the chair. Would you please welcome Dr. Linda Yu?
Thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you, Giles. And thank you all. My task here is to say a few words of thanks, and then we can enjoy the incredible hospitality of the palace. And can I just also say, firstly, a huge congratulations to the winners. It's been a pleasure spending time with you this week. And I also want to thank your families, because without your families, the support that they've given you, I think it's absolutely worth acknowledging. And I know a couple of you have said to me, I want to be a writer, but my mother wants me to be a lawyer. We can continue to have that conversation during drinks. But what I also want to say is you will see around the room the program for this year. The program for this year is very special because it features the winners and their winning pieces, but it also shows the incredible impact that a decade of support from the Queen has made. So you'll see photos there of every award ceremony hosted by Her Majesty over the past decade, even during COVID, when we all stepped up our technology knowledge and did a virtual award ceremony. And I think it's that commitment to improve literacy, contribute to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4, quality education by 2030. I think that's the real impact this competition has had in Commonwealth countries at the ground level. And since the Queen's support, we have increased the number of entries by 3.5 times. We're now talking over 250,000 young people, 5,000 schools, 1,000 judges, and we've had a record-breaking year every year. So team, no pressure. We will certainly continue that. And the second thing I want to say huge thanks to is to Lagos State for the very generous support of this competition, without whom we would not be able to fly the winners and their families here for a week where they get cultural workshops, and for many of them, a real sense of what is possible if you just continue to work hard and to write. So we're very, very grateful. We're also very grateful to our judges, and to our readers, and to indeed all the volunteers who really, across the Commonwealth, make this competition possible. And I also want to say a huge thank you to all of you here, High Commissioners, Commonwealth friends, and importantly, the Commonwealth family. We really do appreciate you taking the time, supporting these young people, and making a real difference in terms of their education and the education of young people. And we know reading is an incredible thing to do. So I'm going to finish with a quote from Napoleon Bonaparte, who said, "Show me a family of readers, and I will show you people who move the world." So thank you for being part of this and helping us nurture the young people who will move the world. Thank you.
Just a moment before the partying begins for the photographs, if we could have the winners and runners-up onto the stage on either side of Her Majesty for a group photograph, that would be wonderful. Now we can help them by at the right moment all together saying cheese. Okay, this is the moment. And it's a bit disconcerting being photographed nowadays because they don't have the click on the camera. They turn it silent, so you don't know when the picture's being taken. But if we count to 3 now, 1, 2, 3, cheese. Good, that work. And now if we could have the, please, the readers, if you could stand with the person whose contribution you read, that would be wonderful. That's it. Good. And then, oh, Linda, are you there?
Yep,
Linda? Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, what happens now? In a moment, we're going to have one final round of applause for these brilliant people. But then yes, well, let's do it now. Let's do it now. Seize the moment. Young people, make sure you introduce the wonderful stars we have here who read your readings to your families, to your parents. Make sure everybody that you go and look at these very precious books that have been brought, and do stay around because once the drinks have been served, there's going to be a little bit of a surprise of a musical nature and of a Commonwealth nature at the end of the proceedings. So there are still treats in store. But a final round of applause to our host. If it wasn't for the Queen, we wouldn't be here. Your Majesty, thank you very much indeed. Great.
Because reading those
at the coronation banquet. So this was excellent here. But then there was about 20 but it was a very, very good session because we were absolutely sure the more we talk, the more we want to. It was really really excellent. But the whole standards this year was very we all just go up year after year. So excellent, and that was really helpful. The readers
She was a judge this year, wasn't she? Philippa Gregory, senior. I saw her at Passport Control at St James's. We had a nice chat about Shakespeare.
Thanks so much.
Hello. I've been on to be involved for over 10 years. It's just wonderful to see you grow under your leadership.
Such a long time, and then such a long time. This is like having a boy from anywhere. We have equal numbers.
I was able to show the young people the winners of the instructor team and the birthday ships and birthday
So we hope you will visit us.
appreciate
sort
it
of eye
as
level
tonight.
street. And a little bit higher, sort of eye level up here.
Oh, eye level.
Thank you. A little bit further back towards you. Yep, a little bit to your left-hand side. That's great. Thank you.
It's just the amount of skill. These are so she's right there. And Philippa is also just met.
Yes, exactly.
Ben.
Can I ask?
Of course. But they're here to
Irish.
You are, no, you are.
You deserve beyond. You are bestowing like stability of this country, don't you think? Carry on. You are amazing. You need that. You need that. Hello. Well done. This is an amazing foundation. It's so good. Beautiful. And how brilliant is growing. So nice. This is why the program is seen decade. I love you. I love you. This is who you are. Thank you, Jerry. Take care. Hello. Hi.
We see each other quite It is. It's like having a family away from home, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Really nice to see you. Cheers. Cheers. Oh, yeah.